Everyone, I'd like to welcome you to the Summers County Board of Education. It's our regular meeting, October 22nd, 2024, 6 p.m. Let the minutes reflect that 4 board members are present and Mr. McBride is unable to be here at this time. I would like to ask the band, along with all the other students that we have in our presence here, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you would. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I will clarify, I asked Mr. Sims if the band would lead us in the pledge, but we had a lot more students come in and we have good representation here, so that's why I wanted to include all the students that were with us, and we appreciate you all being here. Item 3, we have the agenda, approval of the agenda with adjustments. We're going to make a motion under extra duty, extracurricular coaches. We pull out Brenna Davis, Michael McBride, Jonathan Hartwell, and under employment substitute service, we pull out David Morrison.
I'll second.
Motion by myself, seconded by Mrs. Farley, that we, under personnel, extra duty, extracurricular coaches, pull out Brenna Davis, Michael McBride, Jonathan Hartwell, and under substitute service employment, pull out Dave Morrison. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote that adjustment has been made to the agenda. Any other adjustments? Okay. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the agenda with the aforementioned adjustment.
Second.
Have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. McBride, or Mr. Brogan. Seconded by Mr. McBride. Let me start over here. Motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. Brogan, that we approve the agenda with the aforementioned changes. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote. The agenda has been approved with the changes mentioned. All right, we are at item 4 on the agenda, presentations. The first will be the Summers County Comprehensive High School cross-country recognition. So we will ask Sarge if she would like to get up and tell us about the accomplishments of the cross-country team this year.
I will. Yeah, I always go down to talk. No, we had a super good, just an excellent season. This is the first year that we've ever had a full boys team. And not only did we have a full boys team, but they made school history by qualifying for the state meet as a team. We had a single high school girl, single senior, Avery Lilly. She also qualified. She has done cross country 3 years and qualified for states all 3 years she has done it. Yeah, a couple middle schoolers had still, I don't see them right out, but we had 2 middle school boys and a middle school girl, so hopefully we're growing that program. But they also have an excellent season, so they're just as much part of it as we are. But at the regional meet for the state qualifiers, the boys came in second as a team and Avery came in second as an individual. So that was. I don't know how much you know about cross country, but it is one race is 3.1 miles every time you do it, and it is not easy. It is not for the weak. So to just do the race in general for most people to complete it would probably be an accomplishment, but to do it for all types of faith is a huge accomplishment for these guys. Avery went into states, and she had previously already broken the school record for the females, but she broke it again at the state meet with the 21 minutes and 31 seconds, coming in ninth place for first team all-state. The boys, they went up, they ran well, they came in ninth overall as a team in single A, they're broken up by classes up there. And Dakota placed 20th, which is second team all-state. He had previously also broken the school record back earlier in the season with a 17:01 for his 5K. So they, both record holders for the school are on the current cross-country team. I don't really have a whole lot to say except for that it's just been a really fun season. They did really, really well. Their accomplishments, I mean, what they did individually and as a team, it was wonderful. It's really cool to be a part of, and I can't wait to see how we keep growing the program in the future.
Can you
You guys want to?
bring them out and introduce them?
I will. Come on, I'll introduce.
And their warm up for the 3.1 mile is
Yeah,
a,
and then we'll go outside and they're gonna show you what they're going to run. So we have freshman Noah Angel. We've got freshman, well, let's just go in order. Junior Gabe Franklin. Junior Sam Sears. Freshman Noah Bragg. Our lone senior lady, Miss Avery Lilly. We've got junior Dakota Petrie. Our sophomore fellow, Mr. Canyon Person. Like I said, we're missing our middle schoolers, but we had 8th grade Jace Richmond, and we had 7th grade William Harvey, and then we had 6th grade lady, Miss Bristol Percy. Bristol's probably at practice. Probably, so. But basketball has started, so they are in other places.
That's also why I don't have. 'Cause I didn't.
Yeah, Avery, they didn't tell her. So this was the cross-country team, and they did very well, so.
all right. Next, we have the Summers County Comprehensive High School Band recognition. I think they brought a little bit of bling to show us from their competition.
So she was talking about a successful year. We have had, as you can see, we have had a pretty successful year as well. I'm just going to tell you that I've been around this band, I've been around this, like in band and music myself for 31 years. And that's the most trophies that I have ever seen come back to Summers County. We're doing it with anywhere from, we have middle school and high school, and we're probably one of the only bands that actually have, have went 7th grade all the way to 12th grade in our band. And actually, we had 2 6th graders in our band as well. So most of the bands that we competed against were all high school. And it was just made it, that much better that we did it, with that. But like I said, I've never seen that many trophies come back, and we got a lot of recognition, and I know that Mr. Wardle knows, I've made a very good friend in Randall Reed, and he has to kind of jump me every time I say him, so. But it has been a real good. This is like the first year that we actually did 4 competitions, and last year we came away with 1 trophy, but you see we came away with a lot more, so. Band is growing, and, we're getting better and better, and we are now, we just finished marching season, but we're going right into the next season with Christmas season, and then, going into, concert season as well, so, we're going to go in our band and do all those things as well. But I'm proud of every one of them. I want to recognize, all the band members that did that. But this year, we actually had a collar guard this year. You know, I was going to mention it. On one of our, we placed in about each one that we went, but, at Woodrow Wilson, I think it's Woodrow, they actually, first year of color guard, they got first place color guard in the division.
Good.
It's all accomplishments, to them, and, it's been fun working with this group. It's been a really good group, this year, and, we just want to get more of those, so, we thank everybody for their support and everything. We changed up the way, I changed up the way we did the show. The Board of Education provided the money for us to get the show that we actually did. And it was an original show that we did, and, it was a few dollars to get that, but it was a show, we bought the license of the show. Nobody within a 150-mile radius was able to play that same show. So we did a show that nobody else did, and I think that really helped, in our success. But again, we just thank, the board members and, the teachers and everybody, all the support that we've got here. So that's about all I got.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Mr. President, Mr. Randall Reed Smith wanted to tell on behalf of him, he said, you guys have done a great job. He loves Mr. Sims and everything he's doing to grow the program. He said the kids are wonderful, and he's also trying to get us thousands of dollars from Save the Music towards instruments. So because of your effort, guys, you proved the kids showed they're worth it, and you guys did a great job representing us. When a guy says, I'm going to try to get you money, I don't know what you all did, but good job. You did a great job. So congratulations.
Mr. Sims, I hate to put you on the spot, but would you like to introduce your band members?
I can, Bob.
I have 4 kids and I have trouble remembering their names, so good luck to you.
Or they can introduce
They
themselves.
can introduce themselves. If you guys want to line up and give him an out, you can introduce yourselves, if that would help.
Hey,
Or tell us your class, junior, senior, freshman.
So first we got junior Grayson Gum. Senior, Mr. Ryan Ehrenberg. 8th grader, Abby Burdett. 6th grader, Kaylee Kales. And then we have senior Allie Lambert. Next, we have Junior Van Dyke. Next, we have the talkative, outspoken Miss Kylie Moore. Next, we have Jack Gill. We have on mallets and bass drum and all these different things. We got Junior, right? Abby Garcia. 8th grader is Chloe Ball. And we got percussionist Johnny Wheeler. Another color guard member, Ariana Blankenship. Next, we have Nathan Jimmy, thank you. The kicker, and also bass drummer, we got Mr. Josh Oates. Next, we got snare drummer, percussionist, we got Hayden Hatcher. Dr. Hyden is Mr. Nicholas Ellison. Third player, Mazzalone. Saxophone player, he was a clarinet player, but we switched to the saxophone, Mr. Darren Shepherd. Clarinet section leader, Mackenzie Lattermill. We got Miss Annalise with an S, not a Z. Ehrenberg.
All right. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you. Great job, guys.
We should see leadership. I didn't keep control of anything. You don't, I can't.
People with hair.
That's a good honest answer.
All right. Next, under presentations, we have the Summers County Comprehensive High School FFA. They might not have heard me over the motion. Come on up. Right over there.
All right, so first I want to extend a thank you from the members of Summers FFA for allowing us to come here this evening and share their experiences at the 97th National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. For most of these students, that's probably the farthest they've ever been. This was very special to me as an agriculture teacher and FFA advisor because for the first time in my career, I had not one, but I had two of my very own students on that national stage. And I want to set the scene for you. There are 70,000 FFA members, blue and gold FFA jackets. This far exceeds anyone's imagination or thoughts of what an FFA gathering or any student gathering is. It's just absolutely mind-boggling, the number of blue and gold jackets. So I was very fortunate. We had a national FFA band member, Ryan Ehrenberg. This isn't just, oh, yep, we need somebody to play drums. No, this is a whole audition. They pick the best of the best, the elite of the elite. And Ryan has been asked to come back. Yeah. So it's very special to get to see your own students. And it's also cool to know, and I think my colleague, Ms. Holt, probably put it best. You're not just an FFA member. You're not just a band member. You're not just a cross-country team member. We are all members and can do all the things. And that's pretty awesome that we have a staff and a board that allows that to happen. It's not just, yep, you can go on that trip, but you can't go on these trips. And I'm very thankful for that. We also had our first ever American FFA degree, Greg Angel. One of the very special things about FFA and 4-H is that you can be a member of our organizations until you are 21 years old. Now, I don't know if you don't come from a good family or if you come from a good family, that's neither here nor there. Everybody's story is different. But when you graduate and you've been used to coming to school bell to bell and seeing the same people, believe it or not, graduation can also be a little life-shattering. What am I supposed to do now? Where are all my friends? Luckily, through FFA and also the 4-H organization, you can still be a part of your FFA chapter and kind of take those small steps to become an adult. You can still come back to your FFA chapter and participate in things like your American FFA degree and proficiency awards. You can also come back and share your life experiences out there in the real world with your FFA members who are still in high school, which has also been valuable. And We've used some of Greg's expertise to fix her tractor. It's kind of. So, enough of me. Going to have these, they're a little nervous. This is Lane Bragg. Lane is our youngin', 10th grade, sophomore. Trying to break him before meeting, break him in.
I don't think Lane's ever been nervous.
This is Hannah Allen. Matt, Ryan, and Greg, so I'll stand back. They're gonna tell you about their experience.
So, whenever we first went on this marvelous adventure, we first started. I've never ridden a train before. This was an amazing opportunity. Very grateful that I got to go. We boarded the Amtrak train in the train station in Hippie, and we had a very nice ride on the way there. And after we got off the Amtrak, first thing we did was we went to our hotel, got some rest, and then the morning after that, we got ready in our official national blue corn gold and went to the first opening session. And during this opening session, we got to see the likes of Ryan Ehrenberg. We got to see him perform and play, and
He's a movie star now.
And then we seen Greg in his American degree ceremony. And we were very excited for that. We got the front row seats for that one.
it's very nice seeing such representation among so many great leaders of the future. We got to see our very own Greg Angel up there on that stage with, what was it, 70,000 people watching him receiving that American degree. The American degree is the highest honor that you can be bestowed in the National FFA organization. We're very, yeah, of course, as a member. Yeah.
And then next, we decided to go to the rodeo, which was a great experience for us. We've seen the behind the scenes of like, all the rodeo things that go down, like the bulls, the horses, the cowboys, the pride of everything.
These animals, you have to take into account, these animals, they were jumping through hoops of fire. There was one horse that would bow and he would get up on his hind legs and wave. Very interesting. You have to take into account the years of training that these animals have to go through. Very, very educational. We also spoke with many members from other chapters across the entire country. Very, very educational, interesting hearing about their trips, especially up here.
And, I mean, it's not only just for our entertainment, it's very educational. It's for us learning things about, the real world experiences that they have. And, people get very badly hurt doing those things. So we appreciate them for putting on that show for us.
And then after the rodeo, we went and we had some absolutely marvelous food. We went to a very upscale restaurant by the name of Harry and Izzy's. Very, very good food there. Outstanding service.
Yeah, so most of us ordered like steak and whatnot, and it was a really good time. We had great service. Everybody was so welcoming there, and we really enjoyed it.
Yes. Like she said, most of us ordered steaks and of the like. And while some may think that your steak should move, I'm more of a well-done guy myself. I like tires, but
Okay.
but it was very educational. Had a great time there. We had dessert as well. There was so much good food. Very educational. We had a great time.
It was great. The train ride back was great.
Hmm.
Get to the station was great. We loved it, and we thank Oakville for taking us.
Yes, we are all very grateful. All four of, well, there was more than just us.
Yeah,
but all of us here.
Ryan had a little different experience.
Yeah, so my experience started about 4 days earlier than everybody else's. Me and Mr. Greg Angel, big one. We went down on the train, yeah, about 4 days earlier, and our first practice was that same day at 7 o'clock that night. And we practiced about 3 hours that day, and then for the next 3 days, it was 10 hours a day working nonstop, pretty much. We had a couple breaks for like dinner and breakfast and lunch and all that stuff, but apart from that, it was work, work, work. So yeah, the first session went really well. We practiced this thing called the grand entrance where in Lucas Oil Stadium, we go through one of the exits, like when the football team comes on, they go through this tunnel. We went through one of those and then we circled through the center of the field. And then we went onto the stage and started playing for everybody. And it was really great to do that, to really be able to show off and have that time. And then also throughout the week, we played on the stage, more concert band pieces. We played, some like the Best of the West, one was called Where Eagles Soar. It was like a really pretty, makes you want to float kind of song. Other than that, it was just really fun to play with 79 other people just from the US, and it was phenomenal.
And can I add that they played country roads?
And that while these kids had fun, Ryan had to work.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan.
And what did you do for those 10 hours?
I worked.
Oh, okay.
You worked at having fun.
No, I had plenty of work in the hotel room.
I do want to back up just a little bit though, and this is where this thing comes into play. At the state convention, I also made it to the state band, and we had a little mess up in the election of the new leaders or officers. So we had to get some people to create a distraction or some entertainment for some people. Someone sang the national anthems, someone sang Fergalicious. Instead of all that, crazy. But I came up there with my drum, and I have to note that I was the only percussionist there at the state convention. And I got up there and I played a little solo, which I guess is not enough for me to do right now. Yeah.
We're gonna end our presentation with a solo by the one and only, he's not ours anymore, we say the world owns him now. Ryan Aaron.
Try and make it as close as what it was. Ah!
Very good.
At the state convention, I had maybe 3 minutes to prepare. It was literally go play a solo, get up there. That's basically what I did.
You did get an introduction.
I did get a good introduction.
And no ceiling there, right?
There was no ceiling. 20 feet higher and I could.
Nice job.
Great
Well
job.
done.
Yep. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
I believe your drum that you carried through the streets of Indianapolis at 5:30 a.m. was a little bigger than that one though, wasn't it? Was it that one? Okay.
It just looks bigger.
Yep. So I just want to say congratulations to all those that have presented here tonight and keep up the good work. Keep representing Summers County and make us proud. And I do think we need to mention our mascot of every sport that Summers County has, Mr. Whalen. I have already notified Ms. Blevins that Waylon will most likely be athletic director by the time he's in the 11th grade. So. All right. Thank you all for those presentations.
You want to let them leave?
Yeah,
if they wanna get
if you all want to leave, feel free to. We do appreciate you all coming and we appreciate your time that you were able to be here.
If he can play some of the drums.
Thank you.
You want to leave your trophy, Melissa?
You want me to leave me?
I'm just messing. I wouldn't want to be accused of taking your trophies.
All right. Item 5 on our agenda is pause for applause. And I asked that this be put on the agenda. I just wanted to take a minute and thank everyone who was involved in the efforts to try to get our levy to pass. I know that Miss Elisa Thompson, she spent a lot of hours and a lot of time on the road supporting our levy and trying to get that to pass. And Jeff, I want to thank him as well as Johnny Ratliff, Kay Westfall, all of you board members. There was, I didn't write her name down. That, Valerie Valdod, and her two children, they were there at almost every honk 'em wave, supporting us. And then all the staff, and folks that also supported this by attending the honk 'em waves and the different things that we had set up. I want to thank each one of you all, for giving up some of your time for the different meetings and meet and greets that we had. It's unfortunate, but we've been in this situation before, so we're going to move forward and do the best that we can. So again, I just wanted to take a minute and just thank everyone who was involved, and we'll look forward to 2026, and we'll start here in about a year. We can start canvassing the community and see what they would be willing to support and consider possibly trying again. Item 6, public comment. We have none. Item 7, we have approval of minutes. We have the October 22nd regular meeting minutes. We'll do those first.
The October 22nd meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mrs. Farley, that we approve the October 22nd regular meeting minutes. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote, the October 22nd regular meeting minutes have been approved. With Mr. McBride not here, I would like to postpone the November 1st minutes, and let's do that at the next meeting, because we don't have 3 individuals that were at that meeting for.
That's correct.
So we'll do that when Mr. McBride's here. All right, item 8, we have the approval of bills. We have before us the bills that Ms. Kincaid sent to us in an email. And I had a couple questions on mine. She's already addressed those for me. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
We have a motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mrs. Harvey, that we pay the bills. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote that the bills have been approved for payment. All right, new business, we have approved purchases over 25,000. Great. That's what we like to hear. B, discussion or possible action to approve MOA with Summers County Health Department. Is that MOA, MOU,
It's, the document itself is an
MOU?
You want me to give you a quick?
Yeah, if you would, please.
Okay, so basically, working with the health department on checking for drug testing will be a little bit quicker and seamless. And we need quicker and seamless when we're trying to hire people. And the other thing is with billing, it goes straight. We've had some problems in the past where we get billed and the person getting the drug test gets billed, and this is just a lot cleaner, and we're appreciative of our local health department willing to put together an MOU for it. So that's the rationale behind it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the MOU with Summers County Health for prospective employee drug testing.
I'll second.
Is this MOU, and maybe I'm just overlooking it, does it have, I know it has an effective date. Is it, and will it be an ongoing MOU? Will this be an annual MOU that gets renewed?
It'll be an annual one. I
Okay,
think that's the most appropriate way to handle things.
okay. We have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mrs. Farley, to approve the MOU between Summers County Schools and Summers County Health Department. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining?
Aye.
Let the minutes reflect by a 3-0 vote, with Mr. Brogan abstaining, that the MOU with Summers County Health Department has been approved. Item C, discussion or possible action to approve out-of-state overnight trips. This is, the first one's for Kathy Duffield with the FFA Career Development Event, December 12th through the 14th in Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm sorry, there's 3. The second one is Shannon Barnett, 12th grade grad night, April 25th and 26th, 2025, Busch Gardens. And then the third one is Stacy Young, extracurricular trip, November 15th, 2024 at Paint Bank, Virginia.
I'll make a motion that we approve all 3 requests for out-of-state overnight trips.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mrs. Farley, that we approve the 3 out-of-state overnight trips. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Aye. Let the record reflect by a 3-0 vote, with myself abstaining. The 3 overnight trips, out-of-state overnight trips have been approved. All right, WVDE visit update. According to West Virginia Code 6-9A-4 personnel, I'll make a recommendation, or I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
Have a motion by myself, seconded by Mrs. Harvey, according to West Virginia Code 6-9A-4 personnel, that we go into executive session. The time is 6:38. All right, executive session ended at 8:20. We'll wait just a minute for Mrs. Farley to get back and join us here. It's all right. All right, so we will call back to order this regular meeting of the Summers County Board of Education. We are now ready for item E, discussion or possible action to place the following policy out for public comment. This is Roman numeral 4-H-2, alcohol and controlled substance testing.
Can we give you a quick overview of this?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Trey and Mr. Boone and I, Trey being the board attorney with policy, went over this current policy we have, but we need to update it due to that accident that happened up north last school year. So all counties are looking at updating their bus drivers, bus garage policies and how they do their business, but they also need to update this current policy. So if you look through it, the proposal is in accordance with the requirements that you can see there with the federal and state. And you can see that there's a lot of things that have been added. And then you can also see in red where Trey had them strike out certain things. Instead of going over all this with you guys, I think it'd be nice to put this out for public comment, let you guys read it as well as other people. And if anybody has anything that they would like to chime in about their board, then willing to chime in, that'd be great. But I got to give credit to Mr. Boone. He's been very proactive and trying to get everything he possibly can to get this cleaned up before we start another school year.
So this is in addition to the transportation policy that they're working on. This
Yeah.
is just kind of
Yeah.
a supplement in cleaning
Because
this
if
one
you
up.
see it says misuse of alcohol and use of controlled substance, the bus driver in question up north, when the vehicle was wrecked, the school bus that was loaded with children on it, that bus driver was under the influence of alcohol. We know that you shouldn't do that, but this is just what happens when something big like that hits the stage, that everybody wants something to be done. So this is one of many things that are being done.
I'll make a motion that we put policy number 4-H-2 out for public comment.
Motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mrs. Harvey to put policy 4-H-2 out for public comment. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote that policy 4-H-2 be put out for public comment. Item 10, personnel. We have no resignation retirements, no leave of absence, employment service. We have John Bowling, Elizabeth Brown, Alyssa Hazel. No employee professional, extra duty, extracurricular coaches. We have Joe Blankenship, auxiliary middle school boys baseball coach. No substitute professional. And that's it.
I wish I had more names.
I would move that we make a motion that we approve the superintendent's recommendations in regard to personnel.
Motion by Mrs. Farley, seconded by Mrs. Harvey to approve the superintendent's recommendation for personnel. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote, the superintendent's recommendation for personnel has been approved. Superintendent's report, item 11.
I know we've had the state come in and have conversations with us, but also what the state is doing this year with the state superintendent Michelle Black. She is having, we have 4 quadrants. Basically, our quadrant is made up of the old RESA 1 and RESA 4, which is currently our ESC. Miss Deidre Klein was a superintendent of Wyoming County. She's retired, but they're asking retired superintendents, 4 of them to be exact, to be in contact with each quadrant. So Deirdre Klein, she teamed in with us, and she teamed in with each county and asked us some questions. And there was, what are some of your challenges? What are some of your successes? And what would you like to see the State Department do to help you with your goals? One thing that we were really concerned about, I'm going to start with that one because this one is hitting this county pretty hard, and I know it's hitting other counties hard too. But when you only have a few kids compared to other counties that have thousands of kids, I know we're at around 1,100 students, but that number is dropping due to the fact that this Hope Scholarship that our legislation has provided and never put a stop date on it, it's open year round now. If you're not happy with the school you're in, you can just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to homeschool, or I'm going to take that money and do what I want to do. Well, what happens then is you take that money and go do what you want to do, and then you realize, oh, this is harder than we thought. They come back to public school, and now we're dealing with a kid behind. And so those are the concerns we have, and that has been heard so much that it'll be brought up to legislation this go around when they go into their session this spring. So homeschool and Hope Scholarship are 2 things that we need to let them understand about. The other thing, and Ms. Jones can chime in on this one if she'd like, but every time you add a charter school or micro school or any more school systems, our numbers get divided and money gets dispersed to other entities. So like right now, she could be told the federal government can't give you guys all the money that we thought you were going to give because we're going to pull it back and disperse it other entities. So she has to go back in then and change her numbers and make them balance out to say how we're going to spend the money. Now that might not seem like a big deal, but right now, since the levy did not pass, we already had to get rid of 1 SRO. If the monies continue like this from the federal government, I'm just using that example, we might not be able to afford even the 1 SRO. So when you talk about some of this federal money that comes into the counties, that stuff gets removed and dispersed out and pushed to others. And that's also with the state aid formula too. Kayla goes to her conferences, or Miss Kincaid does, and she also hears this gloom and doom at your money. And then you have Dr. Knott over there with her issue with federal money with special ed, and nobody ever gives more. It's always they take out, they don't really give more. And then what happens is the county system has to figure out how to disperse the money and spread it out as evenly as we possibly can. So those are some concerns we put out there. Some of the things we've asked them to do with helping us out as a resource to us is to work with us to help out those aids that we have been getting through that. I'm drawing a blank. A couple of years ago, they said, you know what I'm saying?
I know which one.
So basically, the aids that we're receiving into the school system do not understand that an aid is not to make copies. They're there to help enhance education, help work with the teacher and work together in conjunction, not just say, you go over there and do that, I'm just gonna go over here. We want to educate those aides and help them understand how to be a professional and how to work with our teachers. Am I missing anything else with Strive that we asked them that we want them to do with us? Wasn't that one of the biggest ones? I can't remember anything else that we asked them. We were trying to be realistic about helping, because if you just say we want more money, well, that's not an answer. That's just saying we need more money, and that's not how that works. We did meet in Greenbrier County on last Monday. Was it last Monday we met? Okay. Whatever the date was on last Monday, we met, and we went to Greenbrier and we were there with our quadrant. We had roundtable discussions, and what I liked is we were there from 10 o'clock till 2. They provided a light lunch, but we got to have conversations with our own table, how we want to do some things in our county that we can see. We brought it back to our principals, and I think it's a more, I just think it's a better collaboration because the state's not forcing us to do something. They're listening and then they want to provide professional development. So it's a back and forth. Am I missing anything else, guys, that? Okay, so it was myself, Not Jones, and Metter that were there. We talked about academics, we talked about behavior, we talked about attendance, and we talked about special education. And the big one that they gave us out, we gave it to Dr. Green was, they gave us this new policy with 2510 on middle school programmatic levels. And so we got 3, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade with the Math for Life to hand out to Dr. Green so he can make sure he can push that through the middle school. So they're trying to focus on the middle school support because you guys know as well as I do. Let me put it this way. Have you guys heard this? Elementary, they're doing really well, and then they go to the middle school, and then what happens, right? They don't want that to drop. And math is one of those things where Mr. Flatley said, how many people say, I'm terrible at math and I'm no good? And you hear that a lot from adults and even educators. He goes, how many people say, I can't read and I'm illiterate? Nobody says that in the language arts world. They just say, well, you know, I struggle. You don't hear someone say that. So why do we treat math with the same disrespect? And so he walked us through some things and helped us out. They also have this new Career Tech West Virginia policy 2510 talks about middle school career tech education. There's a lot of things that they're providing to us. And it says the goal is to have 47% of middle school students enrolled in career exploration. So they're really trying to support that at the state level. I promise I'll get you guys copies at the next board meeting, but I already knew we had a lot going on with catching you up. And then they also, you guys remember how the State Department talked about Canvas platform? This is on the Canvas platform, book study for the successful middle school. So Dr. Green can work on that with his people in a PLC manner and talk to them about that. But I will promise you guys, I'm going to get you copies. That way you'll have them. I'll probably scan it and just email it to you so you guys know what's going on. But I actually thought, for the first time in a long time, I thought this was the better way to handle a collaboration between the state and the county. And then also other counties. One thing I did steal from another county, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because we worked with the principals on this. Since we talked about the aides, this one county has learned working with Marshall University that if you're a teacher who gets an 8 in the class, pre-K through 3, what would be the perfect classroom setting every 30 minutes? What would you do with that 8? If you had your perfect classroom, how would you envision that? And so I asked that county, and I'm reminding me to do this. They said that they would give us that form that they worked through with their county. And it actually was a good eye-opening experiment because a lot of people didn't know what they wanted and others did. And then they started working together and it became more of a collaborative to say, this is an expectation of an 8. This is what I think is an ideal, perfect world classroom setting. And then this is what we think we need for support. So I actually, that was one thing that we took back that we really liked. Is there, ladies, I'm looking at you, is there anything else I'm missing? Because I know I just posed you with a bunch of information, but.
That won't be the first, there'll be another meeting, I think, three meetings.
Yeah, I think it's quarterly, yeah. And we can give you more of an update, and the directors and I, we would all like to report out like you guys asked, and we can do that from their point of view, saying, this is how I'm attacking it from my perspective as an attendance director or special ed or academics, and move forward with it. So I thought it was 10-2 was perfect. It was a good boom. We got in there, got out, and learned from other people. It was really good. Plus, before we left, we put in we gave them our worksheet. I actually took pictures. I need to print that out for us, but they took our information, and then that is going to move for the next meeting we have to help us all out. Pretty good stuff, actually. I do like it that way. So that's what STRIVE is. You can see the acronym. I know it's a lot of information, but for people listening out there, it's strengthening behavior response, targeted assistance, regular attendance, increased achievement, valid data practices, and empowered support teams. And that's where that one's at this point in time. One other thing, I know at the bottom, we put the ribbon cutting will be over there in the gymnasium at 1 o'clock. But also at 1 o'clock, we will have, Kayla be in the office. She's gonna be there because at 1 o'clock on that same day, we will open up the bids for the CT roof. So Kayla will be there. They have a person from McKinley who will be running that with her to witness the bids. They'll find out all the bids and then we'll be able to report that out at the next board meeting for you all to let you know. But I think, Chad, am I getting this right? Is the deadline to be completely done? I think it was March of 25,
Yes.
like the latest date.
It was in March, I do remember.
Okay, so they're just trying to get this done in as timely fashion, because one of the biggest things that McKinley Associates noticed with their architect firm is they noticed the guttering system was pretty poor on that building, and Charlie actually did a great job of saying, guys, this is where I see some problems. And then Charlie does it in layman's terms because of his background, and then the architects and engineers put it pencil to paper. And then when we had the pre-bid meeting, Chad took all those guys up above. They all walked the roof. It was a beautiful day. We had 6 companies interested. That's good news for us because remember when we had bids on this, it started out with 1, then we had 3? It's great to start out with a lot of people because that means the prices are usually better for us. And let's be honest, more people looking at it can only help the school district. So that's where we are in this process.
How many of them,
Mark, but they also said weather pending.
how many of them actually bid?
I don't know
Well,
until
that's-
That's-
Thursday at 1, we'll find out. Yeah, that was the pre-bid, yeah. Sorry if my communication wasn't.
I thought you said they'd be opening the bids.
Yeah,
They have till then to.
they do open the bids
They
on
don't
Thursday.
necessarily turn them in, they don't necessarily turn it in ahead of time.
You
So they
cannot
could bring it
open
at
them.
12:58
Gotcha.
and drop
Yeah.
one off.
Everybody has to have them in, and then that's when they open them at 1 o'clock. We've even had people come in before, like, I remember hitting area, remember we had a guy come in and he just held it. He didn't know if he wanted to turn it in or not, and we said, look, the deadline, and he had the clock and it was open and he just held it. And people don't have to turn in their bid. But once they do, we document it and then you guys will see those numbers. So at this point in time, it's hold your breath and hope the numbers aren't too extremely high, but I can only control what I can control. But other than that, Mr. President, that's all I have, unless you want me to just throw out possible board meetings since we're going into the Thanksgiving and Christmas time of
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that on the next item if you want, or you can bring it up
No.
now and then we can discuss it.
No, I
on
just was giving you a friendly.
Yep. So, the next item, discussion of next agenda. So our next regular meeting is scheduled for November 26th at Jumping Branch, 6 PM. That's, kids are out of school that week. Would you all, I talked to Mr. Warville, we could keep it that day or we could back it up. We talked about potentially the week prior to.
Like next Thursday on the 21st, if you
Yeah.
want to do something like that, a week, that way. But I don't know everybody's schedules, and I know deer hunting with actual gun is the following week, but right now we got a lot of bows and arrows.
Yeah.
I can do 21st.
I can do the 21st.
He's not hunting.
Yeah. He was gonna be on the 26th, though. I'd already lined up a ride.
I figured.
That work for you?
I can do it if we do it at the regular time at 6.
Okay.
You guys want the 21st then?
At 6. She
At
said she
6?
could do it at 6.
The reason why I'm asking is because we got to get the agenda turnaround for the 3 days. I appreciate you guys working with us. You still want to do it at Jumping Branch? I mean, if we do,
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay. So we just change it to the 21st. That's it. Okay.
While we're at it, I know this is the next agenda. Well, we can put that on. So for the next agenda, on the 21st, let's go ahead and look at the, meeting in December. We'll just
Okay.
put that on there and we'll look at it. Cause the second Tuesday in December is gonna be Christmas Eve, so I don't know that we'll want to have a meeting on Christmas Eve unless you all have a gift exchange going that I don't know
Nah.
about. So we'll just talk about that at the next agenda.
We can do like this month,
Yeah.
abbreviate.
Well,
Um,
go ahead. Go ahead and edit that.
We
Well, if you
could,
want to set it now.
yeah, we can.
And that allows us to plan a little bit better and give more notice.
Right.
How would y'all feel about doing one like on the 17th and just have one December?
Will that be okay with bills? You think?
What day is that?
December 17th. I'm fine with it as long as my CSBO is fine with it. It's usually the bills.
Mhm.
Are we not required to have 2 a month, just
Mm-mm.
as long as we
No.
cover?
No, it's just the bills sometimes, the way they fall.
Well, if we're moving the meeting to the 21st, that means
Between the 21st and the 17th.
because all the, like the first of the month, all the utilities, and then power bills and water bills and stuff. Well, then what if we,
What if we just keep the 10th?
and cancel the 26th?
Yeah, 24th.
Just do the
Yep.
one meeting for this month.
Would that work for you? Just do the 10th and that's it?
Or are you talking this month?
I'm talking this month. Just cancel the second meeting for this month.
Oh, wait, we didn't get her ask
Yeah.
for that one.
If we canceled the second meeting for November and just kept the 10th. So I paid every bill, even though I received up until today on this one. So there won't be any bills. They'll have to be paid by this time.
Well, I'm fine with just waiting until the 10th if you guys are fine with it.
So yeah, cancel on that. Cancel the 21st meeting would be fine for this. And then we'd still need to figure out.
Just do the 10th.
And then if something comes up that we need to have a meeting for, we could call one.
Call an
We did one
emergency
meeting
meeting.
in December.
Yeah, we
Still.
could we get away with having just one in December on the 10th as well?
I can definitely get all the first of the month bills done on the 10th.
And then, and
The next week.
it would be, January 14th.
I mean, we could move it.
And
Unless you do it the following week after the 10th, just to do just bills only, but I don't know if that would even help you 1 week later.
Really earlier. And, that's a great time. You get all your monthly utility bills right at the first of the month.
So the 10th of December, okay?
so
could do
what we could
earlier
do
in
is,
January.
we could plan for one in November, for this one in November and one in December. But if something comes up that would require us, we could go ahead and have that, we could schedule that second meeting if we need to. So if bills come in that just absolutely have to be paid, or if we have any type of action that needs immediate attention, we could go ahead and then
Now,
schedule a
I have to
second.
throw a grenade in the middle of all this. You guys, how many winter coaches do we still need for basketball? Or we need about 3 or 4?
At least,
Yeah,
Chad's holding two fingers up.
we pulled, well, there's a couple of one things. We need 3 basketball coaches, and their practice season just started today, so if we don't hire them until the 10th of December, I mean, they're already starting regular play at that point.
We can make them like.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
we can keep the 21st then. Nope.
No, if,
well, it can be a shorter meeting and they do points of privilege. We call it a night.
Mhm.
Bills, points of privilege, and personnel.
so
Yep.
November 21st at 6 PM.
Okay.
Yep.
And December 10th,
10th.
keep it.
Okay.
And where's that one gonna be held?
Jumping branches.
Jumping
No, I
branch,
mean,
21st.
December 10th, where's it?
It'll be here.
Here.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Then Mr. Warble mentioned the ribbon cutting for the new edition, November 14th at 1 PM. Any other items for the next agenda? All right, so that next meeting again, November 21st at Jumping Branch. Item 13, my trusty sidekick, Mr. McBride, is not here, so Mr. Brogan, I'm gonna bounce this one over to you.
That's Mick Brogan.
Mick Brogan,
Time
yes.
is 8:49. Move we adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mrs. Harvey, that we adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote that we are now adjourned. What time did you say? 8:47, 8:49.